Linus Tech Tips coverage of CES 2015 is brought to you by Phantom Glass. Visit store.phantom.glass for the best darn screen protectors out there, as well as HyperX. So I've got my lovely Vanna White here, who thought he was going to hide throughout the video, but of course I'm not gonna let him get away with that, showing off the GT80 Titan SLI-009. This has been all over the internet as the world's first, maybe for a reason, gaming notebook with a built-in Cherry MX mechanical keyboard. So MSI was quick to pull out the keycap puller and show off that these are not just any mechanical key switches, these are genuine Cherry MX key switches. They also pointed out that they went to great lengths to find exactly the right red LEDs. These are not just the standard provided ones for red LED illuminated switches, so that the keyboard itself is extremely vibrant, even in a bright situation like the suite that we're standing in right next to a window right now. Now, some compromises have to be made if you're going to make a gaming notebook with a full thickness mechanical keyboard. So number one is that you're not going to want to stack any components under the section of the notebook where the mechanical keyboard is. Here, can you turn it to the side so they can see the profile? There we go. So this thickness right here is pure keyboard along the side. All the components for the notebook itself, including the optical drive, the quad-core CPU, and two GTX 980M graphics cards, have to be in this position right here. Now, the other compromise you have to make is that you don't end up with much of a wrist rest then in this scenario. And I talked to MSI about this, and they kind of went, well, you know, ho-hum, you know, engineering is hard and all that kind of stuff. And they made some very good points. So I kind of said, well, I'd love to have the keyboard here. And they kind of went, well, then you're going to have heat from the components on your wrist. Then you're not necessarily going to get that exact profile that people are used to with mechanical keyboard, because the way that they're shipping this is with a wrist rest, so it's designed to be used from here. Now I kind of went, well, then I'm a little bit far away from the screen, and the response was, okay, well, hold on a second. It's a 1080p screen, and this is an 18.4 inch screen, so you're going to want to sit a little bit further away from it anyway. And I kind of went, okay, touche on that again. And I kind of went, well, okay, I still think it's huge, and it's still not necessarily made for me. And they went, well, hold on, but wait, Linus, there's more. We throw in a backpack that actually fits this monstrosity so people can use it. And with their new upgrade program that they introduced last Friday, this is, I'm not going to say world's first upgradable notebook, because there have been notebooks that have been upgradable before, but this is the first one I'm aware of where there is actually a plan for an upgrade path. So their upgrade program promises that for 2 product generations on GPUs, MSI will have available new MXM modules and new cooling modules that you can install to move to the next 2 generations of high-end graphics cards in here, which I think is A, very unique, and B, pretty freaking cool. They also made it easily accessible to get at most of the other upgrades you might want to do. So it's 2 screws to pull off this panel. I had them take them off before the video. It doesn't just slide off like that. Don't worry, it's okay. And you can get at the optical drive. You can get at all 4 of the M.2 M-SATA SSDs, so you can run quad RAID. You can get at the 2.5-inch hard drive. You can get at 2 of the 4 memory slots. The other 2 are at the bottom. And I guess that's pretty much all you would really want to get at. Wireless module, is that accessible from the bottom?
Yes.
Okay, well, there you go. So you can get at the wireless module from the bottom. So the idea, sorry, I'll let you stop being, actually, can you turn around and we can look at the back? So the idea here is that someone paying, what was it, $3,600 for a gaming notebook is probably going to want to get more than one typical notebook life cycle out of it. So they wanted to make it highly upgradable. In terms of I/O, you're going to have that massive, this power brick is hilarious. What is this, a 300-watt power brick? 350-watt power brick, all right, and it uses a 4-pin connector here at the back, so you've got Ethernet, dual mini display port, and HDMI back here. On this side, you've got a couple USB 3 super speed, and then over on this side, you've got 3 more USB 3 super speed, optical out, Kensington lock, SD card reader, and a couple audio jacks. Now, the last thing that I haven't talked about yet is the unique shape of the touchpad. Thank you very much. You're being an excellent Vanna. So in order to make room for the mechanical keyboard here, they didn't have a whole lot of space for an additional touchpad. And while I looked at this initially and I kind of went, yeah, you guys done goofed, because the screen is shaped this way and the touchpad is shaped this way, it's actually surprisingly not bad. I found that using it one-handed with my thumb on the click and my finger on the rest of the touchpad was actually not a bad use case scenario for it. And another really cool thing is there's actually a numlock button up in the corner that you can press that brings up a, I mean, there's no tactile feel other than a, frankly, fairly delayed haptic feedback, but it does at least give you a touchpad or a number pad if you so desire. So as usual, the keyboard is in conjunction with SteelSeries, so I'm assuming it supports SteelSeries engine. Okay, so it's only red backlighting, so you won't be doing like fancy rainbow lighting like on this GT series right here, but you will be able to fully reprogram all the keys just like you would be able to on a normal MSI gaming notebook. Very cool stuff. So that's the GT80 Titan SLI 009. Guys, thanks for checking out this video. Don't miss any of our CES coverage. Remember, our trip to the show this year is brought to you by Phantom Glass, the makers of, in our minds, the best screen protectors for your phone on the market. They're made of Gorilla Glass. They use a nano coating on the bottom, so it's pretty much impossible, from my experience, to get an air bubble in them. And they are as clear and as pleasing to use as the glass that's already on your phone, assuming you have a high-end device, as well as HyperX. So check out their YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/HyperX for great gaming content over there. Thanks again for watching, and don't miss any of our CES coverage by making sure that you're subscribed. You subscribe too. That's good.